the slope and the y-intercept. So we need to know what b is, and we need to know what m is. B stands for the y-intercept. The y-intercept is right here where it crosses the y-axis. We know that the y-intercept is 3. When you're doing a multiple choice test, the first thing you should do is scroll down and look. This one is not 3 because the b goes after. It goes after the x. So we know that it cannot be the one that says plus 5. We also know right away that the slope is what? For this problem, what is it? It has to be, is it positive or negative? Guaranteed to be negative. So I can also go down here and I can cross out this one here. So now I'm down to a 50-50 shot of worst case scenario of if I had to guess. But you should know that you can follow it and it crosses again right there. So it has a rise of 2 and a run of 5. Slope is rise over run, so the 2 goes on top, the 5 goes on bottom. So when I look at this, I need to see negative 2/5 in front, which is that one there. Looking at number 2, I still have to find the same thing. I need to know what B is, and I need to know what M is. B again is the y-intercept. What's the y-intercept on this one? Not 2. No, look closer. You're close at the 2, but you're missing something. No, stop guessing. Negative 2. So again, go down here and cancel out the ones that are not negative 2. Negative 2, negative 2. So we know it's not this one. And we also know that it's not a flat line, so we know it's not that one as well. So again, we're already down to 2 choices. Is the slope negative or positive? Positive. Look at your choices. The only one that's positive is this one. So just to double check though, there's where it crosses. It rises 3 and it runs 4. 3 over 4 has to be that one. All right. Now, this one's a little bit tougher. We haven't done one like this before. So the first thing that you got to do is you got to find the B, is what I told you. Can you look at this graph and find the B? Yes or no? It's right there, but I can't look at it and definitively say that's right there. I can tell you it's between 0 and 1, right? So I can go down here and I can be like, well, it can't be that one, right? And look at my options. Plus 0.33, plus 0.33, plus 0.33. What do you think the y-intercept is? 0.33. So we don't even have to look for it because it's multiple choice. And they're all the same. So we know it's going to be 0.33. It crosses here and here. What's the rise? 2. What's the run? Is it positive or negative? Negative. So this is the top one. Negative 2 over 3x plus 0.33. Now, as you continue, you can click submit, but as you continue doing these, you'll get better at them and quicker, hopefully. Our goal is that you can graph a line from an equation. So the y-intercept, I've said this a few times, I don't know if anybody's picked up on it, is that it's the starting place. And so when you click on AA6, it's going to give you a graph, and it's going to give you an equation, and you got to graph it from there. And so the easiest way to do this is write down what the B is and write down what the slope is. B in this problem is what? 9 or 1? It's got to be 1 and 2. Which one? It's 1. And the slope is? It's just the 9. Now, when it's a whole number, go ahead and write it over the number 1, because that'll help you when you're doing this. Slope is just directions. So the y-intercept is 1. We can agree that the y-intercept has to be right there, yes? What does slope mean? Rise over run. So it means rise 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then over 1. Does that make sense? For the next one, what's the b? You can't see this? So it says y equals 1/8 x plus 3. What's the y-intercept? 3. So that means I click on 3 on the y-axis. 1/8 means to rise 1 and run 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This equation says y equals 1/3 x plus 6. Where should I start at? The y-intercept is what? Which is right there. 1/3 means to do what? Rise 1 and go over 3. Now we're going to skip and get to a little bit difficult questions where it's got a full graph. Now, this problem says y equals 1/9 x plus 5. 5 is the y-intercept. This middle line is the y-axis. I'm going to start on 5. 1/9, right? If it's positive, means to go up 1. 9 means to go over 9 to the right. If you use the negative with the rise, you'll always go down and to the right. So as you go through and do these, if it says negative, just use it with the up and down part. So like here's an example. Y equals negative 2/5 x. What's the y-intercept on this problem? 0. It's not listed, so it's 0. So we start at 0. If I always apply the negative to the rise part of this, I would go down 2 and over 5 to the right. Again, what's the y-intercept on this one? It says y equals negative 3x plus 10. Start at 10. Negative 3. We're going to write it over the number 1 because it's not got a fraction. So negative 3 means to go down 3 and over 1 to the right. Where do I start on this one? 0. 10 over 9. That means to go up 10 and over 9 to the right. You can go ahead and start working on these. If you have questions or need help, please raise your hand and ask, because we'll be doing this on Monday as well. So if you have questions, make sure you're asking.